Okay, let's see if the volume is here. Yeah, do this quick audio check. One moment. Let's see here. Okay. We in effect, y'all. Lord have mercy, baby. All right. I had to get that all the way together, y'all. Thank y'all for letting me know y'all could not hear me because baby mama was talking. She was talking. So as we could tell by the video, what the topic is gonna be there. Let me go ahead and minimize this. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all? That was so annoying. Why did I do that voice? Ew. Okay, so guys, briefly here, I just want to make sure that we can still hear me. Okay, so as we know, the discussion of today is should black women continue to birth black men? Now, this is a question put forth by Cynthia G. I want to say like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Okay, maybe not that long ago, but we're gonna look at when the video first posted or whatever on her channel. I want to say maybe a month ago, and boy, black men have been having a hissy fit. Now, I kind of been wanting to respond, but I want to take my time and really see how do I really feel about this. What do I really think about that? Because we all know that there's a little bit of black male worship in all of us black women because we have this like our biological clocks and everything is not just connected to giving birth, but I think it's also at some part, maybe even esoterically or at some part is connected to our counterparts. Now I don't know how black men have been able to break away from that, but I know a lot of black women still. I don't know. I don't want to say suffer, but still feel as though they should be procreating with, their own. You know what I mean? And so yeah, we're gonna get into it. First, we're gonna go over what she actually said because I don't want to paraphrase or put words in her mouth because like that's the worst thing you could do. I am gonna go to her channel and show you a snippet. I'm doing that because I don't want to go to nobody else's channel and give them the shine or I just feel like if that's the source, that's why I got the question from. Why not go to her channel? And I don't have as many followers as her, but everybody I'm following should go subscribe because I'm subscribed. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I really want to talk about should we continue to give birth to black men and why or why not. So first we're going to go into seeing and what she thinks. So let's go ahead. Let me minimize my pretty face. Did I have to compliment myself? Yes, I did. Okay.
Culture, because you are not the only person who has influence over how your male children.
At web.com, you won't find the latest sports scores. But if you need to build an online store, you'll find
children are going to think and feel and believe, and even towards you as their mothers. You have a lot of black men running around here with extreme disdain for their own mothers. Mm-hmm. I don't have a black male son, but in all honesty, and I've been saying this, I wouldn't, if I looked around at the black male collective and I had a black son, I wouldn't be able to help but think that I'm contributing to it. I'm contributing to the unsafe communities. I'm contributing to the absent fathers because I know that it's not within my 100% control. And I don't think people understand how strong of an influence the culture of a community has. It is very, very strong. And since black men are not creating a culture to where children are protected, women are valued, fatherhood is valued, then what is the point of birthing males into that system only so you can have generation after generation after generation of the same exact thing?
Yeah. Let me tell you guys a little bit about Melio. Through the Melio platform, you can manage all your vendors and bills and organize when they need to be paid and how you want to pay them. If you decide to pay through your credit card and the vendor is not.
And all they're about to do is tell you to choose better.
And here's the thing. They do all these complaining.
Okay, so
what do they say about the community? They say that we don't have one, that it's ruined because of black women. And then they cite crime statistics that they are the ones that are participants in. If black women, and this is just like seriously just putting it out there, what happens if black women cease or at least selectively breed black males, right? Selectively have black sons. If we do selective breeding, as it relates to having sons, especially, what?
Okay, so I think we pretty much get the gist of what she's saying. Now there were other people who were saying things like, that's genocide and stuff like that. But like, the people want to argue with me in my last video where I was explaining genetics, where I was saying that black men are committing genocide against themselves. Y'all are still under the illusion that you guys have the dominant gene and that you can create white babies, black babies with white women, even though it's genetically impossible. So if you guys still think that that's possible and that's real, and this is her standpoint, Cin's standpoint, now why would you care if black women decided to not give birth to black men anymore or to black male babies anymore? You know what I'm saying? Or abortion is wrong. It's funny how they say abortion is wrong. Now this is me talking. That they love to say abortion is wrong and you shouldn't have abortions and all this and all that. But however, it's okay to have an abortion when he's not prepared. When the one who put his excrement is shit, ain't it? Well, never mind. He's the one that put his bodily fluids into your vagina to feast upon your egg, your seed, it was okay then, it's kind of like don't cry about doing the time when you was doing the crime. So don't complain about being a parent when you was doing all the scheme. You know what I mean? So, but it's okay to have an abortion then when they're not ready to be fathers. But when you don't want to contribute to the black male population, that's blasphemous. That's wrong. That shouldn't be done. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a hypocrisy here that I hear, especially coming from the manosphere, because the manosphere say, oh, you should have chose better. You're the one that decided to have that baby. Now you want to put child support on somebody who didn't even want to be a father. They talk all this stuff about all these options that black women have, but then all of a sudden, when we start talking about exercising those options to be more conscious of who we're giving birth to and at what rate we're giving birth to them, then all of a sudden it's blasphemous and you're like, they call her witches, bitches, all kind of shit. You know what I mean? So we're gonna look at some of the videos that people have put out about her in response to this question after I tell you how I feel about it. So, to be honest with you, I don't advocate for abortions, but it's your body, sis. Do what you want to. It is what it is. I will say this, though. I don't think that that's necessary. You want to know why? No one has said this either, and I've been looking. Think about the hashtag #DadGirl. Believe it at that. Just think about that for a second. How many black men out there are procreating irresponsibly and responsibly and have 5 or 6 children and they're all girls? We can go all the way back to saying the black woman is God, right? So if God knows that all these people are degenerate, they're disrespecting their God, they're not loving their God, they're placing other beings that she has birthed and created above her, I think she spoke already. Because if you look up the birth rate of the black male demographic, I had it pulled up for you already, but it just so happens, I think I looked it up on the Pew Institute. You guys can go look it up, but what happened was I had to reboot my computer because the other 2 videos, you guys couldn't hear. It took all my postmarks and everything, and I didn't take physical notes. I relied on my device, which I shouldn't have, so that's kind of my fault. But the black male birth rate is actually low. Now, the black birth rate is not low. Understand that it's not low. The reason why it's not low is because everybody keep having all these girls. And then they shoot for boys and they have 5 and 6 girls. How many black men you know right now that do have sons? There's very few. Let me see. I got 2 homeboys with sons. The rest of them, they all have daughters. And these are guys that were born in the late 70s. But these guys that was born in the mid-80s and further, they don't have no sons. They don't have no boys at all. And the ones that do have boys, a lot of them come out a little autistic or something. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. So I don't think that we have to go so far as selective breeding. Let's look at selective breeding because black men have been practicing selective breeding for what? All my life, at least, because all my life, my dark skin has been demonized and said to be unattractive. You know what I mean? Luckily, I'm a Capricorn. I had enough sense to give myself some type of self-esteem. So selective breeding. Selective breeding involves choosing parents with a particular characteristic or breeding together to produce offspring with more desirable characteristics. Humans have selectively bred plants, animals for thousands of years, including yada 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 yada. So that takes me back to the Cheers to More Light-Skinned Babies, video, or it takes me back to what's his name, Kodak Black, saying, "I don't want no black babies. I don't want no black bitches." You know what I'm saying? So who's really been practicing selective breeding all this time? Now that black women are talking about doing, oh no, all of a sudden it's blasphemous, is disingenuous, is creating genocide, is downright evil and worthy of calling Cynthia and Nyla, and I forgot the other young lady, bitches and whores and all this other shit. One lady said that she was Hitler-esque. I don't know what's Hitler-esque about that. You know, you can't compare that atrocity to making a conscious decision of whether or not to give birth to a particular group of people. You know what I mean? Like, does it benefit black women to have black men in their life or to birth them? Think about it. How many of us out there are single parents? I'm going to tell you what, and this ain't no shade to nobody, but the most black families I see out there are lesbian families. My daughter's upstairs. Lesbians. Those black families are thriving. They buying houses. They're taking their time when it coming to having children and stuff like that. The lesbian black family is like really doing their thing right now. You know what I mean? They're getting married more. They're staying married more. They're actively dating. So it's like, it's kind of like, I understand what she's saying. Like, where's the benefit? I want y'all to hear this other point that she made. Hopefully, I can remember the timestamp. Like I said, I had everything played out already.
What happens then? Crime rates go down.
Right. And
violence, and sexual assault in our communities, molestation in our community.
Okay, so what the hell just happened? Michael B.
Squarespace
Jordan
lets you run your brand like a business.
I don't want to talk about no Michael B. Jordan.
So you can have longevity.
It's gonna be a great talk.
Michael B. Jordan not worried about no black woman.
Tonight. I don't even know where to start, but I do know where to start.
Communities, there actually will be some up
to. And when you go to these very same reports and data, all you see is problematic black males from the minute they step foot off that plantation up until now, 2021. We're literally touching 2022. They have not changed for the better. They've only been getting worse. So if you do a future projection based on the trend of what's been happening, you can make a prediction that they're only going to get worse.
Mm-hmm. And here's
and what she means by getting worse, she's talking about the single parent in the black community, the theft, the everything, the murders, the senseless murders. You know what I mean? Now, even though I have a thought that a lot of these young rappers are getting killed once they make one-hit wonders, is because these people are smart, they want their masters, etc., etc. And once the company has, so they can perpetually make money off of them and their image, they go ahead and bump them off. That, and also I think that this new weed, this new drug is making them violent, or deadening their sensors to where they don't care. And also they're treating guns irresponsibly like they're toys. Like, oh, I got a gun. Like me, I'm proud to have never had shot nobody with any of my guns. However, now this new generation, they're like, I gotta use it. Bang, bang. You know what I mean? Because I gotta use it. But let's go back to the topic. The point is that she's making is that we can predict that black men are going to be in the same predicament 20 years from now. And what that means is that not only the degradation part of our community, but the ones that do succeed, that do make it out of the disenfranchisement or faces down the oppression and make successful businesses, they're not going to want to date, marry, or procreate within their own race. You see what I'm saying? I could see if the part of us that's good, I'm going to use athletes for an example because those are all public figures. If those famous athletes, for example, all had black wives and all put back in the black community, then there will be an influx of more black children. Not these biracials, not the understand that once you become biracial, you're one generation away from your family lineage being white. If you don't believe me, let's see. Okay, look at the Jacksons, right? This is the Jacksons then, right? Can we click on the images? These are the Jacksons, right? We see that these are the Jacksons. All these black men, big, beautiful afros, and girls with lovely, curly, long locks, right? Natural hair everywhere, except for Rebe and Toya. We see this, right? Okay. 2021. Let's find the Jackson family. Here's a picture of all of them. Let's see if this is all of them. Yeah. They're all white. This is the Jackson family. That's son right there. Jerome, not Jerome, the one with the eyebrows. There's Paris. Where's Prince, chubby self? I don't see him. But those are their biracial children and their white grandchildren. And the white grandchildren, look. One generation. That's all it took. We know that Michael's children are biologically his, but look at the rest of them who biologically made biracial children, and look at the grandchildren. So the next generation of Jacksons, these are all the biracials. If all these biracials marry and procreate black, they're all gonna have white children, like Jermaine's grandson. No, I'm sorry, Tito's grandson. That's Jermaine's grandson there. Okay, so now that we got that taken care of, oh shucks, just hit the escape button. That's what I do when I get lost. Hit that goddamn button, girl. Okay, so we understand where I'm coming from. So let's be clear. I don't think that we have to do anything. I don't think we have to do abortions and only have sex with men if we want to be fathers, because let's be honest. They say there's red flags, but until he bail out on you, make you single mother, you don't really expect that. You know what I mean? You don't. I was engaged twice to mine, and I'm a single parent. You see what I'm saying? So you don't know that it's not going to work until it doesn't work. You know what I mean? And it's easy to bail. It's easy to bail when you're not the one stuck holding the bag, aka the baby. So why keep creating this male demographic that we don't only influence? They love to say, oh, it's a single parent household, so it's the parent that stayed's fault. No, it's the parent that left fault if the child comes up and it is not whole. And the reason why I say that is simple. You cannot blame the parent that stayed and did the job. It might be partial of the job because they didn't have both of the feminine and masculine principle in the household. But you can't blame the parent that stayed. But all the things that child could have learned from the parent that didn't stay is what they're not adding into it. And you could go in there and I could teach my son how to be a provider, how to care for a woman, how to pay enough attention to a woman, how to ask a woman out on a date, how to make sure that you call her as much as she calls you so that she doesn't feel like she's the only one that's pursuing a friendship or a relationship, how to make sure that she wants sex as much as you want sex, by way of giving her the attention so that she's more comfortable with, you know what I'm saying, hey, come here, baby. You know what I'm saying? If I could teach my son all these ins and outs of women, but when he get out there in them streets, them boys gonna say, man, fuck you wanna fuck. Soil your royal oats. Get you a white bitch. Get you this bitch. They most submissive. Get your head. White bitches give all head and suck all the dick, get with them. They're gonna have that outside influence of men. And they're going to listen to those men because they don't have a father growing up. So when you don't have a father growing up and you want the influence of men, you're going to get in approve of the influence of the men. You see what I'm saying? So I could teach my son anything that he needs to know about being a man. But when he gets out there and he meets some of these derelict degenerates that already exist within the black community, and they start coaching him and telling him all these negative things, everything mommy taught him gonna go out the window. Number one, because he's yearning for a father, so he's gonna take the advice of whatever man, whether it's bad advice or good advice. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I know a person who has 2 PhDs for parents. The parents got divorced. Daddy burnt off. Mama did her best. She worked hard. She made plenty of money. They were broke then. They wasn't want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Very smart guy. Graduated top of his class in high school. Even graduated magna cum laude from college. But due to the male influence that was in his life, while in high school, he became an alcoholic and started doing cocaine. He tutored and started his way all the way through college. But he was academically inclined, so he was able to pass with flying colors through college. To this day, he's an educated black man walking the streets. Even went to HVAC school, scored high in that category or that trade or whatever. Got offered a job straight out of school. That's how good his scores was. He just walked the streets and drank beer and potentially do drugs. The woman can't save the man or the boy, future man, from the negative influences of the community, of other males. Even when he goes to school, what the guy's gonna tell him? Fuck anybody, do what you gotta do, man. You scared of pussy? Even though you're supposed to be a virgin in high school. You're not supposed to be fucking at 15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? But they tell you, oh, nigga, you a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You ain't dicking these hoes down. What hoes? Yeah, my mama didn't teach me that these girls are hoes. They're ladies. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand when Cynthia G is talking about not birthing black men. I get it. But I honestly feel as though if we look at how God works, we don't have to abort our sons. Because quite frankly, we're not getting pregnant with them. I know a bunch of single parents, all of them girls. Girls. I know one girl got 10 kids. I only got 2 boys. They went to high school with me. 10 kids. Bitch only got 2 boys. I know one of my homeboys got 3 kids, all girls. I know another of my homeboys got 5 kids, all girls. We can look at the famous people. Kobe Bryant, what do you got? All girls. They have a hashtag girl dad because God is not blessing them with no sons. So it's like the universe know that come on now. The universe know that black men don't like black women. And what they say, if you don't appreciate your blessing, God will take it away from you. And he been taking it away from him, and don't nobody even realize it but me. I'm the only one that figured it out. He been taking sons away from these men. Because you're not appreciating the womb he come out of, and you're not appreciating your sons enough to stay there and raise them. Every dude I know that's my homeboy, all of them was raised by single parents. Only like 2 of them wasn't, and they still ain't shit. Because they daddies wasn't shit. They still some womanizing douchebag assholes. Because that's what they got from their daddy. Womanizing douchebaggery. So if you can't appreciate the womb that birthed you, and you want to say her hair is nappy, her attitude's bad, she's not submissive. Number one, I'm not going to submit to nobody who isn't worth submitting to. Submission comes at a cost, and you cannot pay that cost for submission. Let's understand that. Submit to what? Yeah, submit to who? And then we know globally black men don't like black women, so I don't want to hear nothing. We can't even name something that black men do that says that they like black women. Now, one thing they do. I'm going to give you an example of white men liking black women. The reason why I know white men like white women, you want to know, number one, they marry them. They don't talk down on them. I don't give a fuck if they meth heads. If they on methadone or pill heads. If they on not feeling, whatever the other shit is. If they on opioids. They get commercials. Okay, Lyndon B. Johnson did not sign that goddamn Civil Rights Act until he put white bitches in it. You feel me? They love white women so much they would kill niggas for looking at them because they didn't want them to give birth to them biracial babies. It's only till they realize that black men's genes are not recessed. I already went over recessed from this. Cannot dominate their genes. To then they said, okay, let them fuck them. They gonna do but annihilate their own race. It's a reason why in the Supreme Court they was denying that shit for years, and it was illegal for years from state to state to state. And all of a sudden they say, oh well, let them get married and have kids. It's because they realize genetically that that we would eradicate ourselves versus us eradicating them. That's the only reason. What kind of men birthing? What kind of black women? What kind of men black women gonna birth? None. What you mean? What kind of men? None. The kind of men that black women birth currently are already out there, causing harm in the community. You know what I'm saying? Not loving their counterpart, not loving black women. You know, they when they talk shit about black women, they love to say not their mom and their sister and them. They love to separate their family, but collectively, when you say that, oh, collectively black women hair is nappy as shit, you're talking about your mama and your sister too. Collectively, black women have terrible attitudes, you're talking about your mama and your sister too. When you're speaking generally of the collective, you can't say everybody but my people. That don't work. If that's the case, I could say everybody but my dad, everybody but the men in my family. Now, as a collective, black men don't protect, they don't provide. They don't protect, they don't provide. Shit. What are the two things a motherfucker got to do? They don't protect, they don't provide, they don't stay. You know what I mean? And that you want to say that black women chose welfare over black men? That's not true. You know what I'm saying? And really, if you ain't worth shit but a book of food stamps, then motherfucker, she chose better by choosing them food stamps over your ass. So we have to really think about what we're doing to each other as a people. We have to. Like, we can't continue to say that we don't like black women and black men. You can't. You can't keep going on manosphere talking shit about child support and being mad you have to provide for your children. You can't keep doing it because you're spiritually eradicating yourselves. And we don't have nothing to do with spiritually. Most time women go get abortions, they birthing they aborting they black girls. They're not aborting no sons. Half of them not even pregnant with boys. How many of y'all honestly see boys being born from black on black contact? You want to know why? Because you're not appreciating them, you're not raising them, and they're growing up to be these men that are missing half of themselves. They don't know how to conduct themselves. They don't have no deductive reasoning, no anger management, no control over their own biological fluids. There's a lot of things that as a demographic black men lack that they're supposed to get from their fathers. They need that man to sit them down and talk to them about, hey, baby, you don't have to fight him just because you're mad at him. Or, hey, he's not your friend if he's convinced you to do bad. Yeah, the mother is telling them the same thing, but it hit different when it comes from your father. Because your father is like you. You have the same loins, the same look, the same sex, the same testosterone level, the same. There's a lot of things that are alike. And people yearn for the parent that they don't have. Just like a black man without a mom, he's going to yearn for a mother influence. And he might end up dating old women. So at some point, we're going to have to get off our high horse, okay? And we're going to have to admit that there's some wrong in the black community, and we're going to have to be willing to fix them. Black men, you're going to have to be willing to fix them. Because we ain't got to abort you. You're not being born all on your own. Except what they say, God give it, God take it away. You don't appreciate it. Your God's gift, he won't continue to bless you with that gift. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You got to look at all your homeboys with 3-4 kids, and they probably have one son, maybe, that they ain't even raising. Or no son at all. It is what it is, man. Y'all better get it together. This blackspan, and that's how I feel about giving birth to black males. Ladies, you ain't got to abort them. You really not even